Hey everyone, this is Blackbinder, and welcome back to the Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. Last time we left off, we went up against a flame dragon, but we actually talked her down, and now we are heading back to the Jagged Keep.
You must gather your party.
I installed my SSD last night, so hopefully our load times will be a little bit quicker. I uninstalled the game and then reinstalled it on the new drive. Seems to load faster. I did time it, but it's kind of hard to tell because... Hold on.
You spend your whole life thinking you're a giant. And one day that fella shows up at your fortress.
Look at you, Adair.
Profound.
Yeah, being awfully deep is what I was gonna say. But anyway, it's hard to tell exactly how much faster. I did do a stopwatch, and it is faster, but sometimes my computer slows down for weird reasons, so I can't really tell if it's slowing down when it's loading or not. But it is quicker on the loading screens now. Okay, here. Peeked at spotting you, the strapping warrior slams her shield against the floor, rattling the stones beneath your feet.
Scurriers in my keep, make ready to be crushed, vermin of Eothas.
Show her the torque. Look here, I recovered this from your fallen Brenthus.
You felled her, and her dragon?
With a deep-chested growl, the warrior readies her sword to strike. No, it was the dragon who killed her, not me. She stills, red scrolls in her skin flickering as she grimly appraises you. A muscle ticks in her jaw, but finally she sheathes her sword.
Then the Bathor will decide your fate. He awaits at the back of the keep.
Alright, that's where he is, so we will go the other way. Look at that. They got fire on their floors. What a weird way to live.
Firebeards up there, all with the pointiest bits.
What was that? Oh, a lightning bomb. Cool. Let's, is this where Eothas went through? Or maybe where he stepped? The ornate ashen key. Firecaller, raider. Alright, we can't get through there. Alright, so if I was fighting my way through right here, I would have had to kill all those guys to get the key to... I'm guessing the temple. Let's keep going around. I don't want to talk to the king yet. He might decide he wants everyone to shoot at me and kill me. Amber, Primal Flame, Superb Flail. Alright, this definitely looks like where we're supposed to go, so I think I'm going to turn around. A rock slide has collapsed this section of the keep. Sacrifice to the goddess is the noblest of deaths. Magrin will honor his soul. Well, okay, we found a back way into the to the way that we didn't want to go earlier. Fireless in death, this warrior's body is being ceremoniously prepared for cremation. How do you cremate something that's been on fire its entire life? Like, at that point, you gotta assume it doesn't burn, right? The blades of these weapons have warped after prolonged exposure to the lava's heat. What is that? Napped Scoria figurine? Ooh, summons 2 magma oozes. I should put that on instead of one of my worm figurines.
Supposing this volcano blows, what What are the odds any of us but Gone survives it?
Where are you?
Quickly!
When the warlord spots you, his shoulders stiffen and he reaches for the mace strapped to his back.
Kith, how is it you have come to be here?
Jeez, he's big.
Nay, it is of little matter.
I'm not here to fight you.
Your words hold no weight, Kith. Rathun decide their own battles.
His words boom from behind his helmet without falter, yet he does not strike. With a raised hand, he signals his warriors to wait. I've no quarrel with you, Bathor. I'm here only to speak with Eothas. There's no reason for us to fight when we can be of aid to each other instead. He scrubs a hand over the front of his helm, apparently weighing your words.
I concede to your point. For the time being, Eothas deserves death, not words. The Defiler God has brought war to Ashen Moor in revenge against Margaret and her Rathun.
The warlord regards you hotly, fire sweat dripping down his neck. His surrounding warriors clang their weapons against their chests or the floor, clamoring for blood.
What is your relation to Eothas, if not to act with him against Margaret?
Baroth wills that I intervene with Eothas. Yeah, that one.
Mere Kith are seldom agents of such a powerful deity. If you have no plans to defend the Defiler God, then we've no quarrel with you, Kith. We are prepared to assault Eothas at the base of the moor.
The warlord gestures to the shrine of Magran behind him.
The shrine will lower us to the sacred Ardra pillar, where the embodied god now gluts himself.
Let me through. I'll speak with Eothas and convince him to leave this place.
Even if I believed you, I cannot do such a thing.
He shakes his head, his eyes burn, fiercely intent.
We guard the sacred depths of the moor. None may freely enter. Thus the shrine lies dormant, locked without the talk of Bethacton.
I have it already. He shoves his shoulders back with pride.
Our high priestess. The Brenthis is the talk's rightful bearer, but she has yet to return to the keep.
I found your Brenthis. She's dead.
Then it is as I feared, and as I felt. Her flames have been extinguished. I do not share the Brenthis' ability to commune with Margaret, but I must believe the goddess would will us to fight. We must make a final stand.
I have the torque.
I heard shouts of your triumph preceding you. It would seem you are unparalleled among your kind. And mine. What became of the ancient? Jorda Fairless? Triumph will be nigh impossible without her.
What makes you think something happened to her?
Face beat red, Shodi chokes, pounding her chest as she struggles for air.
Oh, who needs some old lizard anyway?
We didn't kill him, though. They're acting like we killed her. The warlord tilts his head as if considering the true meaning to your companion's reaction. Growing distrustful, he tightens his grip on his mace.
You will answer me, Kith, without trickery or lies.
The dragon has forsaken you. He falls silent, the scrawlings on his skin flaring hotly.
Indeed. I feared the worst when the Brenthis failed to return with the beast. We've no choice. Despite the odds, we'll attack without either's strength.
He shakes his head, the motion grave.
If this is to be our last stand, we must prepare ourselves, either for victory or for sacrifice. Lest Margaret forsake us for our failures. You've earned the right to Fire Shrine, with the talk of the Other Flame. But we cannot join you as yet, in facing the Defiler.
Farewell.
I can see the fury burning in her eyes. What a hateful goddess.
Let's see if we can loot this. You stand before the shrine of Magran, goddess of flame and war. Lifting your eyes, fiery motes begin to streak across your vision as you stare into the imposing cast of her likeness. For the span of a single breath, everything falls eerily silent. The Rathun behind you fade away. Flames to either side of you flicker higher, dancing without sound, but the heat is real, licking at your skin. The metal groans as Magran's statue bends her head to you in greeting.
Watcher, the time does not allow for niceties.
Her words flow like lava from her lips, like the trails that burble hotly from her eyes.
Even now, Eothas gains strength from the spire. What progress have you to report?
The Rathun are preparing a final assault against Eothas.
Then they will burn to ash and return to the mud kiln from whence they came.
She leans forward, the copper of her corded arms gleaming from the blustering flames. She tugs her sword free from her plinth and the entire shrine shudders with heat.
Presently, I shall erupt this volcano, and with it, consume Eothas. I suggest you retreat if you at all value your mortal form.
Do you not care about the Rathun at all?
I formed the Rathun to serve, to ward against Kith in order to safeguard Ukaizo. Now they have served me. Their sacrifice is not without honor, as yours, too, will be. Fare thee on, Watcher. My condolences, should you die.
She inclines her head once more in a stalwart farewell. An avatar of the goddess flashes over the imposing statue before you. As the image fades, her absence leaves the shrine cold and deathly silent. Interact with the shrine. Let's examine the altar. The slatted top of the altar has been hammered silver water smooth, except for a single circular groove notched deep in the center of the slab. Charred bits of metal, leather, and bones are piled in the interior of the circular groove, the remains of prior offerings to the goddess. Place the torque on the altar. The braziers on either side of the altar flare to life, red-hot flames shooting high before settling into a steadier, softer burn within the bowls. Lava eddies beneath iron grating in the floor, heating the soles of your feet, while the statue herself seems to wake, metal groaning, rasping. While the statue herself seems to wake, metal groaning, rasping as the shrine moves. Alright, she's gonna get out of the way and we're gonna open up a path, I'm guessing. Oh, first sneeze of the episode, incoming. A statue of Magron, blah 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 blah. No, we don't want to descend yet, because there's still one area we need to go to. Which is right up here, which is where I thought we had to go before, but oh well. Alright, doesn't say it's stealing, so let's take it. Fire Thrower's Glove, +2 dexterity, +2 explosives, +1 arcana, and all evocation power levels. So let's have Aloth wear that. The dexterity would be nice on my guy, but I think we have crit damage. Nope, accuracy. So crit chance, basically. Alright. See what this is, and then we'll go down into the Ashen Maw. See what Eothas wants. Massive chains hold the weight of the shrine's conveyable platform. Oh, this whole thing is a frickin' elevator. That's awesome. Descend into the depths of the Ashen Maw. With a squeal of metal against metal, the entire floor drops a stomach-lurching 5 feet. Chains clang like the toll of a bell as they catch, pounding against the time-worn gears. Then the shrine begins steadily lowering into the maw. As the shrine cranks lower into the maw, Eothas' colossal... Oh god, hold on. Colossal Adra-carved dome, neck, and shoulders slowly emerge into view. This close, the god rises up like a mountain, larger than you ever remember having seen him. Energy vibrates from his massive body, and the cacophony of mutterings and shouts from the souls whirling within it slams into you, nearly knocking you from your feet. Alright, speak to Eothas. Ha, that is awesome.
He wanted us all to come?
Have you ever seen anything so awe-inspiring? Behold the power of my god.
No, I thought he soul-sucked everything he got near, but oh well.
Watcher, I wasn't sure you'd make it. But there is enough of you in me to grasp that you had a better chance than most.
It looks like he's getting older.
Some would say it's because you have a strong soul. Great deeds come easily to one so spiritually blessed. Or have you become great because of what has been thrust upon you? Watcher of Cadnua, Herald of Berith, Hound of Eothas.
Oh my god. You're really...
Oh my god.
This can't...
I see you, Shoti. I am glad that we could meet. even if it is under quite unpleasant circumstances.
This is really happening, right? Gone. Your humble priestess is before you. Please, tell me what you require of me. How do I save more lost souls than I can carry in one lifetime?
Face bright red.
Bright red, sweat
Oh,
beading
okay.
her brow. Shodi stumbles precariously closer to the edge. Lantern rattling, she catches herself. A mere moment before she would have toppled over.
I know that you have undertaken a noble mission, but I will tell you what I told the Watcher. You need not fear for the lost souls of this world. As for you, Watcher, why is it you believe you have made it this far?
Good fortune and good people have carried me the whole way. I'd be nothing without them? Maybe. Each of us simply does the best we can. My trials have made me who I am. There, yeah.
You have done much in this life, it's true. But if it weren't for your past with Theos, with Eothas, you never would have come down this path. But you have come a great distance for answers. What would you ask of me, Watcher?
That we have. And I got a request. Down here. God!
She's like a
look
kid.
how full my lantern is. I've been harvesting day and night for you, my God.
Lantern rattling. Okay.
Sickle gripped so tight her knuckles are white. She waves her arms over her head as she shouts.
My dear Shodi, I do not mean to diminish your presence here. But this is a question that the Watcher needs to answer. He alone was tasked with pursuing me. The gods have placed him in this fire. It is only right that we speak together now.
I need to know why you've come back.
You need to know? Or Berith? Or the gods?
After all you've done, I think every creature that lives and breathes on Eora needs to know.
And it would seem even she whose presence shakes the heart of this mountain needs to know.
Magrin is prepared to take drastic measures to stop you.
Margrin fears what I will do, just as she feared what I would do in the Deerwood. But this time, there is no power on Eora or in all of hell to stop me. Understand that what I'm saying is neither a boast nor a challenge. It is force gods and mortals alike to open their eyes to one another.
It is the clearest statement of truth I can give you, give Berith, in the hopes of dissuading you from taking actions that may harm others. I said, what are you going to do? Force gods and mortals alike to open their eyes to one another.
It seems my sister does not like the sound of that.
Can you be more specific? What are you trying to do?
I want to return the gods to our original purpose, and to allow mortals to worship us, or ignore us, for what we are, not what we pretend to be.
Shodi gasps sharply, for once too stunned to blurt out a response. Her eyes are wild, with too much white showing, when she glances from Eothas to you.
Whatever you're doing, there's gotta be a better way.
When I entered Widewin, I did so with the intention of illuminating the history of Anguith. I wanted to show all the nations of the Eastern Reach the machines we had used to create ourselves. How we had hidden our true nature from mortals for millennia. But even if I had succeeded, my words would have been easy to deny. Belief creates the foundation upon which a mind's reality is built. Some minds can never let go of that foundation. They would rather hold tight to the world in their mind than accept what they're being told.
If that's so, what are you doing this time that will make any difference?
I have not come to speak, to convince, to plead, but to break the foundations of belief itself. To extinguish the lights that maintain the illusions we have created. We took on the mantles of gods from legends, and in so doing, made real what was false. Crafted truth from fiction. The time has come for a new covenant between gods and mortals. One forged in the light of truth and understanding between our kind. I will leave this place and go to the lost city the Huana call Ukaizo. It is there that all souls pass through the machines of the gods, where all souls pass into the beyond before beginning their next life.
Why would they all be shunted through Okaizo?
When I reach that place, I will find our great machines and tear them to pieces. I will smash the great wheel until the lights of hell all gutter and die. And when my work is done, I will leave this world forever.
More destruction. You're tearing the whole world apart because you can't make peace among yourselves.
Adair, there will never be peace among mortals, so long as they are unwittingly manipulated by the gods. The divine enslavement that Whitaker reveres perpetuates ignorance, chaos, and violence across the world. I only wish to destroy the darkness that surrounds the gods, that you may better see us for what we are.
Say nothing. Guess that's one way to get a response? Yeah, sure.
I'm surprised Margaret is reacting this way. I would have thought she would appreciate a trial of this magnitude. One that tests us all.
No, because it's going to test her, and she doesn't want to be tested.
Both gods and mortals alike rely on the wheel. We depend on it for the souls that give us power. Mortals depend on it for the lives of future generations. Breaking it will force all of us
Won't
to
that
face
eventually
the truth.
kill everyone?
We will fail together or move forward together. Either ending is preferable to the cycle we still find ourselves in.
Without the wheel, how do people get souls,
Go on,
new
wait.
babies?
Before it's too late, you gotta take the souls I harvested for you.
The priestess thrusts her light.
Thrusts her light pulsing lantern outward, as if waiting for Eothas to take it from her.
They are not for me to take. Shodi, you are their guardian now. You are their protector. You have taken responsibility for them, and only you can decide their fate. Once again, the gods have put you in a precarious position, Watcher. Considering all the troubles I have put you through, the least I can do is protect you from the wrath Margaret has intended for me.
It's much appreciated.
Don't thank me yet. This will be particularly difficult for you, Watcher.
Guys and gals, we are literally being touched by the hand of God right now.
Despite
man.
herself, Shodi squeals. Trembling, she sways on her feet as if she might faint.
She is gonna have a nice night with the Watcher later.
Hey, Eothas, we're not done here. You and I, we're not finished. Don't think you can just move me aside like all the rest. Maybe you can't be stopped. But on behalf of everyone you've trampled, betrayed, and ignored, I'll be coming to see you again.
Adair
spits. In the surging heat, it never reaches the ground.
Huh, nice.
Perhaps we will meet again, Adair. Until then, take care of the Watcher.
Eothas's great hand floats away from the luminous Audra pillar. As it pulls back, for a brief moment you see a golden tether flash into existence between the pillar and the great Titan's back. When the Audra fingers gently cradle you, there is first a sensation of warmth, but it is followed by a harsh splitting of consciousness. Your awareness vacillates erratically between the physical world and the spiritual dimension of Eothas's body. Your soul glides amid the many trapped with Eothas. As your brilliant form passes by them, they call and reach out for help. Below Eothas's body, the volcano erupts. Molten rock rushes over the great Audra body, but does not slow its movement. Rathun rush to higher ground, but cannot outpace the lava, which overwhelms and consumes them as it rises. Your attention returns to the heart of Eothas's body. Deep within the whirling masses of souls, you again sense your own presence, the fragment that was taken from you. This time, you reach out to it as it reaches out to you. You meet somewhere in the great mass of Audra, the rest of the souls fading at the edge of your awareness. We are together again. Are you ready to be together again?
Yes, it's about time.
Are you certain? Since we've parted, you've become someone else, and I have become myself. When we join, we won't be ourselves anymore. Your senses yank back to your body, still in Eothas's hand. There is light, sunlight. He has emerged from Ashen Maw, The rim of the volcano and the great keep of the Rathun collapsing behind him. The Audra is barely visible through the thick lava covering his body. And still, he moves. The ocean is gone, water sucked away, leaving only the bare seabed glistening in an ominous silence. You summon the strength to turn your head. Through the cracks in the great god's fingers, you see a wall of water. Taller than Nekataka, taller than Eothas, as tall as the moon. It comes with the rumbling of a terrible stampede. The wave slams into Eothas. His hand closes, protecting you from the devastation. You are back inside him. Back with yourself. Are you still the same Watcher who returned the lost souls of the Deerwood to their intended bodies? A light shines within the soul as it observes you. Waiting. I am.
Because we have +1 passionate and, we're passionate and benevolent, I can say, I am, and I will do everything I can to save these poor souls before I am done.
Good. Then this should be easy. You feel cool air. Seawater. The back of your mind pulls your attention back to your body. Eothas stands amid the now calm waves. Kraken futilely clinging to his limbs as he gingerly sets down your ship with one hand. He carefully opens his other, setting your body on the deck. As your head comes to rest, your vision rocks forward, pulled back into the Audra, back to your soul. Some of us is lost to him. Fragments and the empty spaces between them. They will always be a part of him. But we are still us. And it's time for us to go. Together.
Together.
The soul rushes toward you, flying into you with ferocious speed. You are thrust back through the Audra, out of the palm of Eothas' hand, back into your body. You can feel the sensation of your skin, the warmth of the Audra, but you are not fully in control. The other soul struggles to reach the surface of the body's consciousness, but you pull it down. Entangled, you float in a dark, boundless expanse. The more you fight each other, the closer you become, until somehow, impossibly, every piece of you is touching every piece of them. Through the distant window of your eyes, you see Eothas push slowly against your ship. Though his touch is light, it is still the touch of a god. The ship lurches, rapidly tearing across the water southward. His hand pulls away from your ship's wake, his body straightening, towering overhead. The volcanic rock, now cooled and gently steaming, sloughs from his body as he moves. The Audra beneath is still immaculate, unmarred. He watches you depart, and you hear a voice in your mind as you sink deeper into the blackness of sleep.
Tell them what you have witnessed, Watcher. Tell them what is coming.
The windows of your eyes retreat into the distance. The fragment of your soul is so close to you in the darkness that you can't tell if its thoughts are separate from your own. Eothas is going to Ukaizo?
Eothas is going to Ukaizo.
He's going to stop the wheel?
He's going to stop the wheel.
Eothas is going to Ukaizo. Eothas is going to Ukaizo. He's going to stop the wheel. The words repeat in your mind until they become an incessant, meaningless mantra. Involuntary meditation in the emptiness of your unconscious. When the words finally dissolve and become part of the darkness, you see a pinpoint of light. You no longer sense the other soul. No longer sense the person you were before Eothas touched you. You swim toward the light. As you come closer, the light becomes two blurry spots of radiance. You settle in behind your eyes and feel your lips already moving, mumbling. Around your body you sense familiar scents and sounds, voices raised in shock and alarm. You take control of your mouth, opening it wide and drawing a great breath.
Explosive confrontation, I'll say. Now we need to go to Ukaizo. A pounding headache drags you most of the way back to your senses. Your vision blurs and an acrid taste fills your parched mouth. The details of the room slowly come into focus, the sounds of an ongoing debate, a distant echo.
Are we simply going to wait? What if he never wakes up?
Are those frilled collars stuffed in your ears? If the Watcher's mumblings are right, then Eothas is marching on Ukaizo. We have to move.
In the brief silence, you hear Hazanui Karu's boots scrape against tile as she paces.
He's seizing power from the very gods who betrayed him. Destroying the wheel to make sure they never come back.
She shakes her head and chuckles with grim appreciation.
It's a coup, and we have to muster the strength to stop it.
The unraveling of Kohopa from Tangaloa is our greatest test from the gods, I say. We must live to deserve the world they make for us.
Onikaza rests her chin on her fist and considers. The assembled leaders turn their attention away from each other in a prolonged and thoughtful silence. At last you feel fully present and steady on your feet. The attention of the room abruptly shifts to you, filling the void with expectant whispers. I'm fine, not that anyone asked.
You bear witness to the work of the gods. It seems they are not finished with you yet.
It seems you've been talking in your sleep about Eothas' plan to destroy the wheel. Our friends here are understandably concerned.
Join our talks, I say. Rational discussion will gust away the ominous smoke rising from Ashen Maw.
Onikaza gestures to you with an open palm.
The Deadfire is no stranger to cataclysm. We can survive by cleaving to a shared purpose, a greater good, Akira.
She looks to each other. She looks to each of the envoys in turn.
For what else did the gods place us here? We who have ships and resources enough to make a difference.
Castor glances around the room at the gathered parties, his brows climbing.
What we need is brass. Roatai has ships and cannons aplenty, but the only way I'm sending them is if...
She breaks off at the boom of a door slamming open. Commotion echoes from the entrance hall as everyone turns toward the noise. Her hand strays to her gun. It's either Ferrante or Aldous. The sound of approaching footsteps grows in volume as a courier scrambles into the throne room, panting and glistening with sweat. His mouth opens and closes like a fish, gasping desperately for breath.
Ships have formed the blockade around Queen's Berth. Their commander demands parley with Serpent's Crown.
What? But what about our ships? I must get a message through to the captains.
For what do our enemies paint a target on their hull? This is a stirring bid for my attention. Send word to my water shapers to drain the sea around the flagship. I would parley on better terms than this.
Onikaza begins to rise, but the courier speaks up ahead of her.
My queen! They fly the colors of pirates! The Principi are...
Well, what have we here?
A confident voice booms from the open door. The motley sailors who don't hold the Huana guards at bay with drawn weapons take in some of the more opulent decorations with avid interest. One pirate separates out from the fold, sauntering boldly forward.
Forgive me, lovesome, but it looks like you're having a party. A rather fine one to which you didn't invite me.
She winks, Swallonet glinting in the light as she cocks her pistol high above her head.
You painted vagrants are a plague on my tribes. Why should I not hang you from the walls of my garden?
Onikaza grips the handrests of her throat as if ready to vault up and attack.
You should be asking yourself how they got in here in the first place.
Oh, I do love when they squabble. But I'm here for neither pleasantries nor entertainment. We've bigger fish to fry. Or should I say gods?
A determined-looking guard inches closer to Aldis from the edge of the court. Without looking, the Principi captain swivels her pistol to aim straight at his chest.
Now everyone just calm down. I promise we won't fire on you at this time. Unless firstly provoked. That is, until whence we've safely absconded from the city back to the high seas.
She grins magnanimously.
Then all bets are off again. Aye?
Yes. Well, if you have a point, pirate, I suggest you reach it quickly.
We're supposed to take a bunch of pirates at their word?
Right you are. However...
The narrow-eyed look she settles on the room is more than a little bloodthirsty.
I'm here because I've got questions, ones that can't wait. And the Lovesome Watcher's the only one likely to answer them nicely.
If we want, all of us must plan for the inevitable. Even if we cooperate, Eothas wins. No. Listen.
Perkamplanka, this is nonsense. I have no intention of letting Ukaizo fall into the hands of plunderers and thieves.
Ukaizo? What's the lost city of gold got to do with a god on a rampage?
Using the barrel of her gun, she tips her hat back curiously. Eothas is going there to break the reincarnation cycle.
Well, fuck if that doesn't put things into perspective. But what's that even mean in the long run? Folks who die won't be coming back again.
Maybe not at first, but eventually Eora will be starved for life. Their souls will be trapped in the in-between.
This is all dark and foreboding sounding. But what's it mean for my soul? I mean, I like the idea of pirating throughout the Great Beyond as much as the next gal. But if, say, I got no awareness after I die, does it even matter what happens?
Ak, of course you have no interest past that of your eyes and your stomach. Let us speak now of what can be done. Must be done. Watcher, you know best of all of us what our options are.
More answers could become apparent when we land on Ukaizo.
The Huana made compacts with the gods on lost Ukaizo. Anything can happen on the shores of our ancestors. I say it is a place where mortals can reach beyond themselves, do freely what animancers struggle to dream.
We have to act quickly. Defending Ukaizo is the highest priority.
A pensive, focused look sharpens the lines in her face. She scratches her cheek with the fingers of her wooden hand.
Our ships are fast and well-equipped. We could sail to the edge of Andra's mortar. See if Eothas' passage opens a way through the storms.
She narrows her eyes, watching the others.
Of course, finding Ukaizo once we're through is another matter.
I can sense Eothas in Andra's mortar, and my soul calls out from inside him.
That's so. You just might be able to save us.
We speak of collectively sailing for Andra's mortar, but this crown will not support any plan that involves a single outsider ship landing on the shores of Ukaizo.
A hush falls across the room as Onikaza makes her proclamation.
It is for this moment that the gods test me. Anyone who seeks to cross Andra's mortar will learn that the gates of Ukaizo are the end of compromise with the Huana.
We're not here to debate over territory. Our souls are in jeopardy.
I think I'm getting the gist of it now.
She rubs the barrel of her gun under her jaw thoughtfully. Then she crooks you a cunning grin.
While these witless princocks go at each other's throats, we Principi will cut through the storms and plunder the city of gold. Whatever Eothas is seeking in those ruins, we'll find it. And then we'll sell it to the highest bidder. That, or me and mine will have front row seats to the end of the world.
If the Huana cannot take back our beginning, then our end fast approaches. The gods will judge us by our devotion to Ukaizo.
Are you going to guard it as closely as you've guarded your palace today? Ukaizo was yours once, and you lost it. Meanwhile, the storms that cover Andra's mortar plague Rauatai too. We will help the Watchers stop Eothas, but we will not leave our country's future in soft hands. We hope the Watcher agrees.
I do.
Watcher, there are two kinds of people in the Deadfire. Those who have called it home since time immemorial, and opportunists.
Onikaza glares at the assembled dignitaries.
With Ukaizo under our control, the Huana would restore order as it has not been seen since the days of our ancestors.
She nods slowly, holding her gaze all the while.
Order. And the only question is whether it will be the order of ignorance and tradition, or else of conquest. The secrets to be found in Ukaizo could elevate us all beyond the telling. I will not relinquish that dream so easily.
With that, Castal turns to stride away, his shoulders set in a rigid line. Without so much as a final farewell, Aldous tips her head to her armed crew, and the pirates withdraw as swiftly as they arrived.
Watcher, I say the time to play at freelancing is at an end. Any of us could get you to Ukaizo, but only one of us will stand by your side.
Studying you carefully, Onikaza nods and gestures for her attendants to clear the room. Looks like we're gonna have to pick a side. I'm gonna go with Rauatai.
Have the chance.
Because they are the best chance for the race of Amawa to be in charge of the Deadfire.
I say it is not
Or
every
the
day
species.
that a ship pulls into port from Margaret's teeth. You are not too singed, I hope.
Aruihi looks you up and down, clearly impressed.
Our enemies scramble for Kaizo, dropping all pretense of strategy in their panic and haste.
Well, why did you want to
They say
speak
your
to me?
pockets I hope you find our...
Alright, we're gonna side with the Rauatai because, like I said before, the Huana and the Rauataians at least have a chance of reconciling, and the Huana themselves, they're just not technologically able to hold on to the Deadfire by themselves. They have the Water Shapers, but remember, we've set the dragon free, so in about 10 to 20 years, they're going to lose most of their water shaping capabilities. Which would be just about enough time for Rauatai to really reinforce the defenses of the Deadfire.
Gemstones of all kinds.
And they need to get over their beef with each other. But that's where we're going to end it for now. I'm going to sell some stuff and then go through my equipment and upgrade everything. So please leave a like or comment below and feel free to subscribe for more full Let's Plays like this one. And that's my mama.